Welcome in to New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. And I want to give a shout out to Aura, an all-in-one digital safety tool for sponsoring today's show and putting the lights on. Look, they're going to help you protect yourself online more than ever, because that's what we do. We do more online than ever before, and Aura is going to do their best in everything that they offer in their all-in-one digital safety tool to protect you, your family, your devices, your bank, everything you got. They'll help you stay protected. Aura.com/chatsports. Start a 14-day free trial today and cancel at any time for absolutely zero charge. Big Blue Fire Chief. I like that picture. I like that picture a lot. What's going on, bro? I would love for our New York Giants, for our G-men, to take a look at J.C. Tretter. He is a beast, been in top 5 centers for some time. I agree. I think J.C. Tretter is one of the best centers in the NFL. He was cut by the Cleveland Browns to save a little bit of cap space, and they have a rookie on their team, Petey, that they're ready to take his spot. Nick Harris to take his spot. My producer, he hosts the Browns Report. Shout out to him. But I like J.C. Tretter a lot. I think he's a better player than John Feliciano, a guy that's played guard the past couple of years for the Buffalo Bills. But I don't understand why he's still a free agent. Is he taking his time? Because what is he, the president of the Players Association? There's rumors that he may retire. He's been beat up a little bit in the past couple of years. One of the best pass blocking centers in the NFL. I think he would make the Giants better. I'd be down for the Giants to go out and sign him, but it's all about the dollars. How much money does he actually want to play? The Giants have about $6 million in cap space, so if they sign him to a $2 million, $3 million deal, maybe he comes over, but I could see him wanting a little bit more cheddar than that. Also, my brother, what up, dog? How would you rate the top tackles from the last 3 draft classes? I have AT and Evan Neal in the top 5 or 6. Who are your top 3 or 4? Okay. This one's going to be tough. I might need a little bit of help from you, Petey. I think Andrew Thomas has been one of the the past 3 with Andrew Thomas. I think Thomas is better than Mekhi Becton. Tristan Wirfs, in my opinion, is the best one. Then I'll put Andrew Thomas right after that. I like Jedrick Wills a lot. I think he has to prove a little bit more. Been a little bit banged up, right? Rashawn Slater is very good as well. I would have been Penei Sewell. So if I had to say it right there, Wirfs, Penei Sewell, and who was the other guy you just said? And Slater, I think, are all better than Andrew Thomas by a little bit. But I have Andrew Thomas right behind there. But I think Evan Neal can be good as any of those guys mentioned that we just talked about. Evan Neal on some people's draft boards was the number 1 player in this draft. On the Dallas Cowboys draft board, he was number 2. I think he has everything you want as a potential tackle in the NFL. And I think he's going to be able to prove that this year playing for the Giants. I love the versatility he's had. At Bama, he played a season at right tackle and left tackle, so I'm excited to see what he does. Alzo, that was a tough question, but I'm glad I can get you the answer with the help of my producer, Matthew Peterson. Danny Pennies, oh man, that is brutal. Not Danny Dimes, but Danny Pennies. Should the Giants go out and sign JPP, Jason Pierre-Paul? I've got a soft spot in my heart for Jason Pierre-Paul because one of my favorite Giants game that I ever have been to was back in the 2011-2012 season where he blocked the kick of the Dallas Cowboys in the 4th quarter as time expired for the Giants to seal a dub. And that got the Giants on track and on fire to get hot and win the Super Bowl and get hot in the playoffs. And he's still been a good player since he got traded from the Giants to the Tampa Bay Bucks. I mean, last year was arguably his worst year in the NFL, but the prior 3 seasons, 9.5 sacks. In 2019, he played in 10 games and had 8.5 sacks. That's one of the more impressive statistical seasons you'll see. And in 2018, he had 12.5 sacks. He's still a good football player. And I think he would fit on this roster. He wouldn't be a starter. That belongs to Kayvon Thibodeau. That belongs to Azeez Ojulari. I want to see more out of Quincy Roche. I want to see more from Ellerson Smith. But Jason Pierre-Paul, I think, could come in and be a great backup to a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau or Azeez Ojulari. And he would be able to be a veteran that they can lean on. He has 2 Super Bowls. He knows what it takes to be great in this league. The guy, he has 90-plus sacks in his NFL career. It's a wild statistic. If he didn't blow some of his fingers off, he'd arguably be a Hall of Famer. I love JPP. He has a soft spot in my heart forever. And I'm still upset that Jerry Reese traded him to the Tampa Bay Bucks. And I think it makes some sense for the Giants to go after him. Bring a similar face back. He could be a mentor to the young guys. So shoot, I'd go down and type S for sign. I'd be down to bring Jason Pierre-Paul back to the New York Giants. But as we all know, It's all about how much money he wants to get paid. If he wants to come play for a 1-year veteran minimum deal with maybe some incentives to get him up to a couple $1 million, I'd be down. I'd type S for sign. Or if you think JPP has worn his welcome out in New Jersey, you can go down and type P for pass. Nikki, what up? Leonard Williams, over, under 5 sacks. Over. If Leonard Williams does not have more than 5 sacks this year, I'm going to be very upset, and he could potentially be a cut candidate for the New York Giants last year. In 2021, he had 6.5 sacks. In 2020, it was his best season in the NFL. He had 11.5 sacks. But then the prior 2 season, or the year before that, he had just half a sack. 5 before that, 2.73. He's not an elite sack guy, but I think in this system with Wink Martindale, it may unlock him as a pass rusher. I know I've said it about a lot of different guys, but Martindale makes the life for edge rushers easier than they've ever had it. I'm expecting big things from Leonard Williams this season, or if not, him in that hefty contract could be playing their last one wearing Giants blue. We told you about Aura at the top of the show. Now let's break it down, where you can start a 14-day free trial today. If when you go to aura.com/chatsports, they offer financial fraud protection, identity theft protection, online, as well as device security. And if you have some little ones in your family, they offer family plans to protect up to 5 people. Shop, bank, and work online more safely and privately than you ever have before, because we do more online than we ever have before, and Aura will make sure that they can do everything possible to protect you, your identity, and your family online. Go get started with them today. I'll have the link to that in the comments and description of this video. My guy Patrick Seatman's putting that in the chat right now. Aura.com/chatsports. Chris Jones, 22, what up, bro? Will Saquon Barkley be on the Giants next year? If so, what is the most you would pay him? This is a good question, Chris Jones. It matters, and I know I'm kind of, giving myself a little bit of a room for error, but it matters what type of season he has. If he goes out and does what he did in his rookie season, where he was arguably the best running back in the NFL, then you're going to have to go out and pay him a lot of money. And it would suck to see a good player, and arguably a great player, that you spent a premium draft pick on walk in free agency after he has a great year. But if he does what he's done in the past couple of seasons, then I'm not going to re-sign him. And that's going to suck, because we didn't get to ever really see the sustained success that we saw and wanted from Saquon Barkley. Back in his rookie season, he was arguably the best running back in the NFL. Over 1,300 rushing yards, 5 yards per tote, 15 total touchdowns, 91 receptions. But in the next 28 games, he was a shell of himself, and part of that's due to injury. 398 carries, 1,600 yards, a whole less yard per carry, went from 5 to 4, only 12 touchdowns, and 99 receptions. But I look at the Nick Chubb contract extension as somewhat of a baseline. He signed a 3-year, $36.6 million contract extension. And I feel like that's kind of the sweet spot, that I don't want to pay any more than that. Because, look, Nick Chubb, he's arguably the best running back in football. Does Saquon Barkley offer a little bit more threat out of the backfield as a receiving threat? Sure. But when it comes to being just a strict runner of the football, Nick Chubb, along with Derrick Henry, are arguably the best 2 backs in the league. And if you can get Saquon Barkley on a 3-year, $36 million extension, if he has a good year this next year, I'd be all down for bringing 26 back. He's my guy. I got his jersey. I love Saquon. I want to see him succeed. He's a good guy. He never misses a practice. He never misses a voluntary minicamp. He never misses a voluntary off-season workout. He's all about doing whatever he can to make the Giants better. And I think that counts a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's what you do on the turf that gets you paid in the NFL. But let me know, would you re-sign Saquon Barkley if he has a good year? I know some people don't want to pay running backs. I don't want to pay him a lot of money, but I'm also not in the camp of letting players go for free in free agency. Let me know. Type R for re-sign, or you can go down and type W for let walk. If you haven't yet, make sure you go down right now and hit that big red button. Become one of us, as my producer Matthew Peterson would say. Hit that big red button. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers. We are less than 500 away from getting to that milestone. Let's do it for Eli Manning. He's got 2 rings. Yes, these are my ring fingers, not my middle fingers. If you love the Giants and you want daily videos on YouTube around the latest Giants news and rumors, lock us in Go hit that big red button because we are just getting started on this channel. We're going to be posting more content than ever as we inch closer and closer to the NFL season. So go down right now, hit that big red button if you love the New York Giants. This question coming in from Philly Bowl, New York Giants. So a Giants fan in Philly, that's tough. Hopefully they don't throw any batteries at you. Did you hear about Eli listing his offense for an 80-yard gain? I did. Yes, I did hear this. This was awesome. Eli sat in on Cam Newton's YouTube show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, and he asked him about. Cam Newton asked Eli Manning, if you had to build a perfect offense to go and win and lead an 80-yard game-winning drive with about 3 minutes left, Eli Manning had some pretty interesting answers of guys that he would want to roll with. And I thought it was very big of Eli because he mentioned a guy like Tiki Barber as his running back. He mentioned Odell Beckham as his wide receiver. He mentioned Victor Cruz as his wide receiver. Plaxico Burress, if you could pop that graphic up for me, I'd appreciate it. And Kevin Boss as his tight end. These were the guys that Eli said he would roll with. Tiki, Plaxico, Odell, Victor Cruz, and Kevin Boss. A lot of people were like, Kevin Boss over Saquon Barkley or over Jeremy Shockey, what are you doing? And Cam Newton asked him the same question because Cam Newton played 1 year with Jeremy Shockey, and he said, you know what, Jeremy Shockey is just too all over the place. So these are the 5 guys that Eli would roll with. But I want to ask you guys, did Eli get it right? Did he name the 5 best players that he played with to go and win and lead a game-winning drive? Let me know. You can go down, type yes or no in the comment section. If you want to type Y for yes, N for no. Or if you want to give me 5 guys that you think Eli should have chosen, you can do that in the comment section. I'll be down there chopping it up with all of you. I love doing it. I love talking Giants football. I live in Dallas, so I don't get to talk to a lot of Giants fans, so I take advantage of this. Let me know if Eli got it right on the 5 playmakers he would want to roll with. Mr. NY Stadium, my guy, salute, brother. Do you think Saquon Barkley is a bigger leader than Daniel Jones? That is a tough question. Let me think about that. A bigger leader. I would say that Saquon Barkley has the respect of his teammates, I feel like, a little bit more. And that's not a slight on a guy like Daniel Jones. I just think that Saquon has done it at the highest level in the NFL. His rookie year, arguably the best back in the NFL. Daniel Jones has never really been a top 15, 20 quarterback in the NFL. So I think Daniel Jones is a leader, no doubt about it. But if I had to think of who rallies the players a little bit more, I would say it's Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon Barkley is still the face of this franchise. He's been a captain. He never misses practice like we talked about earlier. This is a tough question, and I'm still thinking about it as I'm talking, Mr. NY Stadium. A better leader. I would say Saquon Barkley, yes, over Daniel Jones. That's a great question. I appreciate it. That's our last one in today's mailbag. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time on New York Giants Now.